What's up, everybody, and welcome back to A Beer a Day with TK. It's a warm Wednesday afternoon here in Findlay, Ohio, and I'm hanging out in the beer shed getting ready to try a new beer. As it's Wednesday, we all know what that means, WTF Wednesday. For those of you who may be new to the program, WTF Wednesday is the one day a week when I showcase beers that I normally wouldn't try on the program. So sometimes that means stuff from the macro producers, Bud, Miller, Coors, Labatt, those guys. Sometimes it means I try stuff from microbreweries that are just odder flavors or different kinds of brewing styles. Today, what I have on offer is Michelob Ultra Pure Gold. So this is made by Anheuser-Busch out of St. Louis, Missouri. And this is one of the beers in the Michelob Ultra line. I remember when Mich Ultra came out, I guess people started drinking it in my neighborhood in Philly probably around 2004 or so. And I became immensely popular. My brother drank it. A lot of my friends drank it. I never really cared for it. I didn't really like Mich Ultra. But it was a popular beer, so I guess I couldn't argue with that. Now, over the years, they've expanded and they've started to do some other brews. And this one here, the pure gold one, is essentially slightly different than the regular Mich Ultra. So this is 2.5 carbs and 85 calories. Regular Mich Ultra is 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. So I guess the difference is 10 calories per 12-ounce bottle and 2.5 to 2.6, so a tenth of a gram of carbs. I'm not sure how important those are to you. I'm sure there's some people out there counting every tenth of a gram or whatever if you're on the keto diets and these types of things. But it seems to be a negligible difference to me. The other thing that I guess looks a little bit different is, I'm not sure about the regular one, but this says it's an organic light lager and has a USDA organic label on it. I know to many people that's a big deal. To me, I don't really, I don't get it as much. I was actually looking at the USDA website here, and it just said basically that the soil that the grains are grown on can't be treated with certain pesticides or chemicals for a 3-year period. And I would probably bet that there's lots of beers that don't have that USDA sticker on it or mark, and that would fall into this category anyway. So I'm not sure if it's that big of a concern. I know a lot of people like organic food, so if you do, I guess it's a bonus. I doubt there's many people out there that say, organic, to hell with that, not going to drink it. So I don't know that it hurts you. I just tend to think they're more of marketing ploys than anything else. It's the same as a lot of times you see things marked sugar-free or fat-free or this or that, and it makes us think it's good for us when probably really isn't anyway. This one comes in at 3.8% ABV, so relatively light beer, obviously. I've done a couple other Mich Ultra beers on the program before. Did the regular Michelob Ultra, and then I did the Mich Ultra Infusions, lime and prickly pear, about a month ago. Can't say I was a huge fan of either of those, but I figured I'd give this one a shot. Now, like I said, this is organic. When I went to the website, it shows it's made with water, barley, rice, and hops, and it said the rice and barley are both organic. So take that for what it's worth. Ratings wise, it doesn't do particularly great. Not a big surprise there, I guess. 2.78 on Untapped, 2.86 on Beer Advocate with an overall score of 69 poor. I will say this, Beer Advocate 286 is a little higher than I had expected. Because usually if you're going to get roasted, that's where it happens. Now I open that to a slight hiss. Try to pour this so I can get some kind of head on it. It's actually doing all right head-wise. I was afraid I wouldn't get any head and it would look like garbage. Color, kind of what you'd expect. That is a clear yellow. Ton of carbonation in there. Bubbles are going crazy. As far as the head, it was probably a good finger and a half or so when I initially poured it. Although that is receding quicker than LeBron James's hairline. That's a thing of the past right about now. Head's kind of white and soapy, disappeared real quick. Let's give it a sniff. Smell, I don't know, light malt. Maybe a little bit of sweetness, kind of like that corn kind of sweetness. I know there's no corn in it; it's done with rice instead. But I think rice, anytime you do corn or rice adjuncts, they kind of give off that same sweetness in my mind. Not as bad as I thought on the nose. I expected it to be much sweeter. Um, Light malt, light sweetness. That's about it. Man, that's going nuts. carbonation on that is pretty crazy. I don't know if you can pick it up. Try to block my face out. Maybe you can see it better. Ton of carbonation in there. All right, let's give it a shot. Cheers. It's a warm day. This is probably an appropriate beer. Super light body, like you'd expect. Watery. As far as the taste, not a heck of a lot going on there. You might get faint malt, hops kind of non-existent. I don't really taste hops in it whatsoever. A little bit of sweetness. I will say this: it's not as sweet as a lot of your adjunct lagers, or American light lagers, or I guess American lagers in general. Tend to be, I think, cloyingly sweet if they use corn or rice. I don't think this is super sweet, but I would suspect that's probably more a byproduct of what this is than anything else. I suspect that this is so watered down that you don't really pick up the sweetness from the adjuncts. Um, I don't know what to say about it. I mean, it's barely beer in my mind. If it was 100 degrees and you're out with your friends at a barbecue, could you drink this? Yeah, it's not really offensive, in that there's nothing off-putting about it, in that it's not super hoppy or super sour or an off taste, or the saddle blanket, horse blanket taste we've read about, right? It's not anything super gross. It just is nothing. This tastes to me like if you took a beer, threw a bunch of ice cubes in it, and let it melt. Took something like a Miller, and just let it sit there with probably 60% water, 40% beer. This is probably what you would get. But to me, that's just not very appealing. Now, again, if you're trying to cut calories and carbs and all that stuff, I get that this may meet the needs of somebody out there, but it's not this dude. Maybe I'm the outlier, maybe I'm a weirdo, but I just kind of look at it this way. If I had to drink beer but was desperate to cut calories, there are plenty of good light beers out there that you can get for, that are around 100 calories, maybe slightly more carbs than this. So we did the Lagunitas one, Goose Island. There are a couple of folks doing lighter beers, low carb, low cal beers that blow this out of the water. So with that in mind, I'm going to evaluate it in that way. Would I drink another one of these? The answer is going to be no, I wouldn't. It would definitely get a thumbs down. And again, it's not that it's so terrible that it's repugnant or repulsive. I just don't really see the need for this. Again, if you're looking to cut carbs or calories, there are better options out there. They might be slightly more calories. But honestly, if the difference is 15 calories and that's going to do you in for the day, you should probably not drink any beers, right? I mean, it's kind of pointless. Mick Ultra Pure Gold. I don't see a massive difference between this and the regular Mick Ultra. Both seem kind of to serve a very niche market. Probably those that really don't enjoy the taste of beer, the hops, the flavors. So this to me is watered down beer, and again, wouldn't have another one. Hopefully you liked the video. If you do so, please give me a thumbs up, hit that like button. If you'd like to see more videos like this, please hit subscribe. And as always, if you have any comments or questions, jump in down below. Are you a fan of Mick Ultra Pure Gold? If so, let me know why I got this wrong. If you are counting carbs and calories and watching your figure, what other options are out there? Like I said, I think the Lagunitas low-cal beer is pretty solid. I know a lot of other people are doing them now, some of the micro brewers. So to me, there's just so many better options out there. I wouldn't pick this. What would you choose? Hey, let me know in the comments down below. Till next time, cheers.